Hello, all my joyful creators. Welcome to part 4 of the Longmire Blanket. Our blankets are coming along quite nicely. This is what the pattern formation of your blanket should start to look like. Now, depending on what colors you assign to your numbers, your colorway will probably be different than what mine is, but our pattern formation should still be the same. So let's move our blanket to the side for a minute. And let's roll to see how many rows we're going to add today. Now remember, the die, we only roll one die. So that can give us anywhere from 1 row to 6 rows. And here we go. And we are going to be adding 6 rows today. Now let's grab both die to see what color we will be adding next. And we'll be adding the color number 5. And for me, number 5 is Patty Green. So this is the next color that I will be adding. Now, we're going to add another color today. So let's roll again. And that is 3. And for me, that is Cherry Red. And so this is the color that I'll be adding next. It's kind of a Christmas little theme there. And guess what? We're going to add one more color. So let's see what that color is. And it's the color 10. And for me, color 10 is navy blue. And so this is the other color that I'll be adding. Got a little fuzz there. Looks purple. Looks purple in my light. There we go. Now that's looking a little bit more navy blue. All right. So if you want to grab your hooks, again, we're using a 6mm size J hook, and grab your project. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first color that I'm adding is the Patty Green. So let me grab up some of my green yarn here, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to go ahead and add our new color. You do that however you feel comfortable. For me, I always join mine by creating a slip knot and sliding it on my hook. You can either slide it on your hook, then insert it into your stitch, or insert it into your stitch and then onto the hook. It doesn't matter. It creates the same thing. And then I like to chain 1 just to secure it on. We're going to chain 2. And then we're going to go ahead and turn our work. That chain 2 is going to count as our first half double crochet for this row. We will be making half double crochets all the way across the row. I'm going to take the tail from my previous color and the tail from this new color that I've added, and I'm going to just crochet right over the tops of them. Now, I don't know why my lighting is acting kind of funny and making it a little bit hard for you to see, because it doesn't help with that last color that I use being black. But again, we're going to make half double crochets right here all the way across the row. Again, I'm working over the tops of my tails. And so go ahead and just start making half double crochets. And again, a half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And we're going to do that all the way across this row. And when we get to the end, we are going to chain 2. And we're going to turn our work. And we're going to work half double crochets all the way across that row. And we're going to do this for a total of 4 rows. So go ahead and work the next 4 rows, working half double crochets in each stitch across, chaining 2 at the end before you turn. And here I've secured my tails down. I'm going to give them just a nice little tug, and then I'm going to grab some scissors and I'm just going to clip off those remaining tails so they are secured in, done, and out of the way. All right. So again, continue working half double crochets across each of the next 4 rows, and I will meet up with you at the end of the 4th row. And look how gorgeous our blanket is starting to really look. You should have just completed 4 rows of half double crochets. This would have been row 19, 20, 21, and 22. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and fasten off our color here. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to come and snip a little bit of a tail here and pull that on through, tighten and secure it down. And we're going to go ahead and join with our new color. And for me, that is going to be cherry red. So you grab the color that you are using. And again, I join mine with a slip knot. And once you have your color fastened on, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. And just like we have been, I'm going to take the tail that is left over from my last color, which was the green, and the new tail from just now fastening on the new color, which is red, and I'm going to work right over the tops of those. All right, so we're going to go right here into the same stitch as the joining stitch, and we're going to work a single crochet. And we're going to work a single crochet into the next stitch, and a single crochet into the next. And we're going to work single crochets all the way across this row, which is row 23. And as we have been, you should be maintaining your stitch count all the way across. Oops, didn't mean to hit the camera there. And I've secured that in enough. I'm going to give these both a slight little tug, but not too much that it changes the shape of my work. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut off the excess there. And then I'm just going to continue across the row working, working single crochets in each stitch. So go ahead and finish this row with a single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet up with you at the end of this row, and we will move on to work our last row for today together. Here we are at the end of row 23, and we are going to go ahead and fasten off. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to trim myself a little bit of a tail and pull that through and give it a nice tug. And for our last row, we're going to join our last color. For me, it is navy blue. And I'm just going to insert my hook into this very first stitch. Join my new color with a slip knot. And I'm going to pull it through and chain 1 just to secure it on. And then I'm going to chain 1 as my turning chain and turn my work. And for this last row today, which is row 24, we are also going to be working with a single crochet stitch. I'm going to secure my red and my blue tails in as I go. So I'm going to go right here into this first stitch as my join and my chain 1 and make a single crochet. I'm going to make a single crochet in each stitch across, and I'm just going to again work over these tails and secure them in. And when you feel like you have secured them in enough that you're comfortable with, you can go ahead and trim off the remaining tails. And that is good enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and give these tails a nice little tug, but not too tight that it changes my work. Make sure that I have nothing poking out on the back side. Let's see if I can get this blue one a little bit tighter. There we go. And trim off those tails. And then we're going to just continue all the way down row 24, working single crochets in each stitch. And I will meet you at the end of this row. And this will complete our last row for today's tutorial. So go ahead and work a single crochet in each stitch all the way to the end, and I will meet back up with you at the very end of this row. We are here at the end of row 24, and we're just going to go ahead and fasten off. So I'm going to trim my blue, give me just a little bit of a tail, and pull this all the way through and tighten it down so it is ready for when we come back together the next time. And so this is what our blanket is starting to look like now. So we have completed 24 rows. You should still have 157 stitches across your blanket. And this concludes part 4 of our Longmire blanket. So thank you for joining me today. I am Cynthia, your host with Cynthia's Joyful Creations. And until next time, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, and make your own joyful creations.